Hello, everybody. Yay, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kobold Chats. My name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer. I use they, he pronouns, and I'm back, everybody. Thank you so much to Zach for holding down the fort while I was out in San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco. Because I was at a convention. I was at Big Bad Con last week. Which was a lot of fun. So much fun. I don't know. I had a good time. I met a bunch of wonderful people. It was my first time in San Francisco. And yeah, it was just good. It was just good. How are all of you doing? It's Friday, the end of our week, the middle of our day. So maybe you're at lunch, hanging out at home, doing whatever. Maybe you're taking a long weekend. Maybe. If that's like the kind of thing that you like doing. I'm not going to blame you if you do. You should be able to hear me in Discord. Make sure that I'm not muted. Yeah, you should be. Yeah, you should. Sorry, hold on. Dealing with the thing. Would it be a Kobold Chats if there wasn't like a slight audio thing? I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear me though. Because... Oh, okay, cool. See? Easy fix. Well, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. It's going to be kind of a low energy day. I'm feeling in my bones. Tell me your audio... Tell you my audio secret. Yikes! I'm gonna have to confer with the Dark Warlock that gives me all of my technological know-how. So, you know, there he is, the man I offered to wrestle fist fight at Gen Con. Hello. Roll initiative. I don't know what my dex score is off the top of my head, but I do not have a d20 on me. Wait, where's my d20? Oh, it's in here. Hold on. I'll roll you for initiative, Diomedes. Hold on, there we go. I'm going to say that my dex is probably like a +1. I'm not the most dexterous, I would say. So I'll give myself a +1. But I did roll a 19? Wait, hold on. Is that a 16? No, that's a 19. I rolled a 19 on this. I don't know if it's going to... It's not going to focus. You're just going to have to trust me. So that's a 20 initiative, baby. We love it. Probably a ninja, and it's like +3. No, I can guarantee you, my dex not that high. Everything else, maybe. I'd give myself like a +3 wisdom. Maybe. It's 19 source. Trust me, bro. No, I'm serious. This is 19. You gotta believe me. Whatever. Okay, we need to get into the stuff we're talking about today. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, Jiro, what are we doing today? Hey, so I got some stuff for all of you. Some of you may have been wondering, where are all them limited editions for Game Master's Guide and when the limited editions coming in for Castles and Crowns? The answer is Monday. There you go. Isn't that easy? Isn't that simple? We've been waiting for these for the limited editions for these fine books to come on in, and hey, they're in. So you can go get those over on the Kobold Press store starting Monday. If you missed out on your chance getting a limited edition for the Kickstarters for these books, hey, now's your chance. Now, if you already got one for these and you've just been waiting, well, they're probably on their way. So you got time. Clock's ticking. Start waiting by your mailboxes, and you will probably get it pretty soon. So that's that. Next up, we have the Discord Designer Challenge. Now, we like putting out open calls, right? Because one of the things that we like doing is fostering a sense of competency, fostering a sense of collaboration, of creativity, empowering all of you to take time, get into your game design mode, and make some cool stuff. And so we have another open call over on our Discord server. If you are a subscriber for our Discord, which means you get a lot of other benefits, right? You get free PDFs, you get I think like a tag, and there's other stuff you get. However, from now until I think it's 2 weeks, Kim, if you remember off the top of your head, please let me know. I think it's for the next couple. I think it's like for the next 2 weeks. We have an open call for you to bring your monster ideas to us and have the possibility for them to get published in one of our books. It's next Tuesday or Monday. You've got days. So hey, if you haven't already joined our Discord server, right now is a pretty good time to do so. Not just because the Discord server is pretty cool and there's some awesome people over there, and you get to talk about Tales of the Valiant, Kobold Press, find people to play games with, show off some of your own stuff. You get to do all of that, but also, hey, every now and then, we like fostering that kind of creativity and, giving you a chance to do your thing. Tuesday night is the last chance to submit. Thank you. So Tuesday, November 5th, the night of November 5th is the last night that you can possibly submit a monster for. I don't know if we serve the book, and I also don't know if I know the book, so there it is. Vote. Yes, you get to vote and submit your monster, so you get to vote for monsters as well. The Kobold Press Discord invite is showing invalid. I can get you an invite right here, right now. Copy, bam. Here's a Discord invite for all of you fine people. I'm going to put it in the YouTube and the Twitch, and there's no real reason for me to put it in the Discord, because, hey, if you could read it, that means you're already in there, so you don't need it from me. But yeah, Diomedes, if you're interested in that, just join on in the Discord. There's plenty of information about what you get out of being a subscriber, and then also a channel talking about all of like the rules, the FAQ, and all of that good stuff about the competition as a whole. So hey, I highly recommend it, because I also just like sometimes making monsters and being able to show them off and potentially get published. It's just kind of cool. So that's that. Next up, we're talking the blog. Everybody knows how much I love the blog. Oh, that's the wrong one. Everyone knows how much I like the blog. You have an idea? Ooh, Hawkeye. I hope to see it. What was I saying? Okay, yes. So we all know I love the blog. And so we're going to talk the blog. Yesterday's blog was Magical Meals, Crispy Fried Cockatrice. It tastes just like chicken. A mysterious figure known only as the Culinomancer is a widely traveled individual of a renowned skill. Their stated purpose? To create delicious and magical food from every known monster that could be considered edible. The Culinomancer's collected writings are popular among a certain niche group of adventurers. Some are interested in magical benefits such dishes provide. Others are fringe Epicureans seeking pleasure in devouring the rarest, most exotic, and even dangerous food. Whoever this Culinomancer may be, they know their craft. The recipes are powerful aids to adventure and, well, typically very tasty. Sounds like my friend's a Waffle House cleric sounds amazing. Also, I love the idea. I really like the idea of food servers people, or like even like alcoholics, or like bartenders and things of that nature, being clerics or priests in the places where they are being considered as like churches or temples. So like a Waffle House as a place of worship or a bar as a place of worship, and then the people that work there are clerics, priests, clergy, so on and so forth. Is a fun idea that I like, and so that's great. I love it. So let's talk about crispy fried cockatrices. Cockatrices aren't terribly different from typical barnyard. I'm going to collect myself. I'm going to get a drink of water. And I'm going to speak better this time. Cockatrices aren't typically different from typical barnyard fowl, aside from their tempers and the ability to petrify with a touch. Neither of those aspects affects the quality and taste of the meat, which is subtle yet succulent. For this dish, I recommend using the leg and underbelly meat, and the breast if you need a larger amount. The tail, while holding a significant quantity of flesh, has a firmer texture and subtly different flavor. Not that it isn't perfectly palatable, it's just different. The tail meat is more like pork in texture and flavoring, and not optimal for this cooking method, in my opinion. The most important aspects of this dish are the sauce, the batter, and the double fry. Have a cantrip ready to chill the water if it isn't cold enough. Cold batter and hot oil are key to the perfect, crispy coating. A balanced, well-blended sauce combined with juicy bites of cockatrice surrounded by crunch are the best. I'd still eat it, even if it didn't provide such magical benefits. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but I used to work for a chef, and there's nothing I like. I love tasting food. Obviously, I also like analyzing how food tastes and feels in the mouth. And so there's something about this specific blog series that is like, it hits me. It hits me just right. Now, this new magic item, crispy fried cockatrice with spicy dipping sauce, is a potion, very rare, in 2,000 gold pieces. This meal consists of bite-sized chunks of marinated cockatrice meat, flour-coated and fried, and accompanied by red sauce, fiery, sweet, and sour, with citrusy undertones for dipping. When you eat this meal, you gain resistance to saves against spells and effects that cause petrification for 8 hours. You also become resistant to fire for the same duration and gain the ability to breathe fire as an action in a 15-foot cone. Creatures in this area of effect must make a dex save DC based on your con score, taking 3d6 fire damage on a failure, or half as much damage on a success. The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Once you have used the fire breath ability, you lose your fire resistance, but the petrification resistance remains for the normal duration. And then, okay, I like that. You get a nice spicy dipping sauce. You can have this for your short rest meal right before you get into a fight in a volcano somewhere that has a bunch of cockatrices. But this is, I mean, there are so many layers of this that have, like, this could be a very niche potion, right? Where it's like, oh, it makes you immune to petrification and also resistant to fire damage. And it's like, okay, cool. Both of those things are a little niche, which potions are allowed to be niche, right? Sometimes you make a specific potion for a specific thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But then on top of that, you also get the ability to breathe fire, which makes sense because you just had spicy dipping sauce. You're going to feel like you're breathing flames sometimes, and that's pretty cool. 3d6 fire damage ain't nothing to snuff at. You can continue. Wait, how many times can you do it? Once you... you lose the fire resistance. Okay, cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, man. You keep the fire inside you, warming you on the inside, and that's what's protecting you from the fire, but you can leash it out in a breath of a 15-foot cone. That's cool. I like that a lot. Will we see any more lineages on the blog soon? I really love the Halloween ones in Midgard. This could be useful for things. So true. Yeah, no, I mean, I hope so. I don't necessarily have an answer for that because I don't know the total releases that are coming for the blog, but there definitely will be more releases as well. So super excited about that. Diomedes, so you've just joined the Discord server. Where can you find the monster creation info? If you go to the announcements and you go up into the announcements to October 7th, you'll see that Zach has wonderfully posted a post about the Discord subscriber design challenge, and you can find a link to the right channel in there. I hope that helped. Hey, GM Toolbox, how's it going? Okay, so if this blog post wasn't cool enough already, you also just get a whole recipe for making Korean fried chicken. I'm sorry, crispy fried cockatrice. Cockatrice substitute. So if you don't have cockatrice, you could just use chicken. That's okay. It won't be the same, and it won't have any magical properties, but you could do it. And that's cool. I love Korean fried chicken. It's really good. It's so good. The cornstarch batter making for like a really, really nice crispy in the double fry for that extra crisp and crunch, but also it's got just the right texture to be able to absorb sauce better than like a panko or like a flour. It's all right. I'm sorry, Kim. Hey, this is what people in my game, in the games that I run, have to deal with all the time, because there's nothing I love describing more than how food tastes and feels. You're making chicken nuggets? Perfect. Fried chicken does have magical properties. If I eat enough of it, it's like an enlarged spell on my belly. So true. Big mood. But yeah, Korean fried chicken, amazing. I'm so sorry if I'm going to make you all hungry. That's just kind of, anytime I start talking about food, I get a little too descriptive. Can you tell that I'm a game master? All right, so am I going to read this whole recipe? Yeah, I am. Okay, so you're going to need 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Always go for chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are the best cut of chicken, in my personal opinion. You can't go wrong with boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can't go wrong with bone in and skin on chicken thighs either, because the bone helps keep. Never mind. I can't. I'm not going to go into this. I'm not going to go in this. Skinless chicken thighs quartered. You can use breast meat if you prefer, but I think the texture and flavor of the thighs works better for this recipe. The answer to that is always yes. 4 cups of vegetable oil for frying or as needed. For the marinade, you need half a yellow onion grated, 6 cloves of garlic minced, 1 teaspoon of table salt, 1 teaspoon of table salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. If you don't have white pepper, add another half teaspoon of black pepper. But hey, you should definitely add white pepper to your cabinet of seasonings, because it's not the same as black pepper. It has never mind. Half a teaspoon of sesame oil. Now, for the batter, this is what you're going to be dunking your chicken into. I can't believe that this has become a cooking thing. This is what you're going to be dunking your chicken into before you're ready to fry it. Now, you are going to need 1.5 cups of cornstarch, 1 cup of self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, substitute the same amount of all-purpose flour with 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 2 spoons of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, half a teaspoon of table salt, and 2 cups of very cold water, or as needed. And then And then for the sauce, you're gonna need half a cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of gochujang, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 green onions, thinly sliced, 4 cloves of garlic, minced, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 small lemon, juiced and zested, 1/4 cup of water, or as needed, half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, or to taste, and a 1/8 tablespoon of 1/8 teaspoon of salt, or to taste. And hey, something that this didn't say for this sauce, but something that I'm gonna highly recommend: add MSG. It's just flavor. It's just more that good umami flavor. It'll just be better. Add MSG. Like, to this, I'd say add like a teaspoon of MSG, if not more. If you ever want to add more flavor to something without adding to its salt content, MSG is just, it's better for you, and also it just tastes good. So there you go. All the food in the Ghoul Emporium is finger-linking good. It's just the matter of whose fingers it is. All right, so here's how you're going to prepare and cook, and then we're going to get... Why are you not cooking this right now? I'm sorry that I didn't do a cooking stream. We got to do a Kobold Press cooking stream, I guess, at some point, where we just have magical meals. All right, preparation and cooking. Add onion, garlic, salt, pepper, and sesame oil to a medium mixing bowl and stir to combine. Add chicken and mix until everything is well coated. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 4 hours, but hey, overnight is best. Combine the ketchup, green onion, garlic, lemon juice, and zest, lemon juice and zest, honey, gochujang, and pepper into a saucepan. Whisk it well until combined, and then add just enough water to reach the desired sauce consistency. For me, that means a sauce that is thick enough to coat the chicken, but still thin enough to pour. Bring the sauce to a simmer, then reduce heat to medium-low and simmer for about 5 minutes. Taste for seasoning and add salt as needed. Another thing that I'm going to add to this, if you ever want your sauces to be that little, like just a little, if you ever want to thicken your sauce, always just make a cornstarch slurry. That's just equal parts cornstarch and water. Probably go start at like a teaspoon of both. Mix that just really well until the cornstarch is dissolved into the water, and just pour a little bit of it at a time. Mix it in, and you'll see as it actively starts to thicken and get a really nice glossy coating on it. It just makes it look nice. Who convinced Jeff to put recipes on a blog? Who knows? I just pitched it to Dot. That's so funny. Where was I? Okay, cool. That's how you make your sauce a little bit better. Heat oil in a deep fryer or a large saucepan until it reaches a temperature of 340 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oil is heating, prepare your batter. Whisk together the cornstarch, flour, sugar, pepper, and salt into a large bowl, and gradually whisk in the cold water. The batter should be thin and smooth. You'll transfer the chicken into the marinade from the marinade into the batter. Stir to coat the chicken. Make sure it's nice, even coating. You don't want any bald spots. Raise the temperature of the oil to 375 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to fry your chicken in batches. That's the important part. Korean fried chicken is double fried. The first one is mostly just to get you want to get a nice crisp on it. It's going to look a little pale at first, which is totally fine. This one is really to cook the chicken. And then so you're going to do all that. You're going to carefully transfer the portions of the chicken from the hot oil into maybe you got like a drying rack or something like that. You could put or a wire rack. There we go. And then you're going to raise the temperature of the oil up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're in batches. You're going to return the chicken from the hot oil to the frying pan for 2 to 3 minutes. This is to get the coating crispy and golden brown. You'll transfer that back to the wire rack to cool and drain. Let that rest for a couple of minutes, and then you're going to serve over rice and apply the sauce however you would like. Now, you could either apply the sauce on top, that's totally fine, or you can just pop those bad boys into the sauce, give it a nice coated mix, and then boom, you've got a nice, juicy, tender, and crispy Korean fried chicken with a wonderful gochujang sauce. And you can serve it with rice, and so on and so forth. And there you go. That is the crispy fried cockatree substitute Korean fried chicken. Great job, Jeff. Wonderful. My only notes, doing the cornstarch slurry. That'd be the only one. Whew. How do we feel about that, everybody? I can't believe I just did that whole recipe. That's wild. You want your dragon back ribs. Yeah, it's a good time to rewatch Delicious in Dungeon. Absolutely. This could be useful. Are you planning new Midgard rule books? We always have Midgard in our back pocket, and I cannot tell you anything explicit, but we have not forgotten Midgard, is what I will say. But if you want more Midgard content, we always have Midgard Mondays over on the blog. Every day. Hold on. Wait, what was this week's? Bam, Midgard. Pilgrimage to the Shrines of Azeran. Every Monday, we got one. But, hey, my Midgard fans out there, trust and believe we have not forgotten you. And that is all I will say for right now. You want another monster-sized tome of Midgard lore? Understandable. Who doesn't want that, right? Okay. So, that was Magical Meals. You could go find it over on the blog. That's a pretty solid recipe. Again, I would, if I had to say, need a wok being used as a shield. Great. S tier. Love it. This is just Delicious in Dungeon again, so it's good. But Delicious in Dungeon is good, so of course it's good. I still can't believe I just did that. That was very funny. Okay, cool. So the last thing here, we're talking about combat encounter building expanded. We're going to be looking at a section from the Game Master's Guide. If you're going to dream big, dream big. So true. Collecting myself. We are going to be looking at the advanced combat chapter of the Game Master's Guide. Now remember, the Game Master's Guide is not just how to run the game. That's in the player's guide. We did that. You don't need that portion. It's in the player's guide. What this is helping you up your game. This is telling you, this is breaking down the thoughts, breaking down the techniques and skills of game masters with a collective several decades worth of experience to help you make your games better. And in the advanced combat portion, this chapter in this PDF, we're going to be talking about... Ooh, hold on. Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh. I think my Adobe PDF's just not doing it today. Hold on. Wait. I had it. Okay. Okay, understood. Hold on. I need to stop Adobe from doing whatever it's doing because it stopped working for some reason, and that's sad. Hold on. Come on, Adobe. Come on. I want to show these PDFs. I want to show the PDFs to people. Come on. Come on. Let me show the PDFs. The people want their PDFs. They want to see it. They want to know about the advanced combat. I want to know about the advanced combat. Hold on. Okay, cool. Reopening the Game Master's Guide. Okay. I think... Okay. Haha! There we go. Much better. Okay, cool. So, we're looking at Chapter 4 of Advanced Combat, but we're not just starting off at the top. But you can see, as we go through it, there is stuff about how to map the battlefield, how to choose the right kind of combat style. You don't need to have the same combat style for every single encounter. Sometimes you just need a quick theater of the mind. Man, I'm going to do this. But sometimes you want to map it out. You want to show the map. You want tactical combat happening. Or sometimes you're doing large scale stuff and you need siege kind of combat. Those are all going to be, sounds like a secret. It is a bit of a secret. I'm not allowed to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, sometimes you're doing battle grids. Sometimes you're doing theater of the mind. The book has advantages and disadvantages, things you want to be thinking about and how you can use them to the best of your ability. But also, hey, it's information like how to use theater of mind, how to adjudicate, hey, what are areas of effect when you don't have a battle map? It's telling you how to do that and how many creatures might be in those radiuses. That's all super cool. Doing abstract maps, which is a term I haven't really heard of before. And between running combat on a gridded map and running combat in theater of the mind lies a flexible, inexpensive, and powerful alternative, the abstract battle map. I wasn't planning on reading this, but hey, we're going to read it now. An abstract map might be as simple as some lines, X's and O's, drawn on a sheet of paper with a pencil, or as elaborate as a table full of 3D physical terrain. In either case, the GM and players worry less about specific 5-foot increment distances and more about the intentions of the PCs and the monsters, like when running combat in the theater of the mind. Okay, I think abstract maps tend to be how I run a lot of games sometimes. I think very early on, I was very battle grid battle grid heavy. But I think as I just became more experienced and I became much more deft in my ability to describe geography and spatial locations, and also just like being way more in tune with like my players and trying to get in and out of combat so much quicker, I think I've leaned towards theater of the mind, and then abstract maps is just like, okay, we just need quick things to make sure we know exactly who is by which person. So that's cool. I like seeing that presented here. We have some grids here showing you, hey, how big is a 60-foot radius? And the answer is huge, because radius is from here to here. I don't know if you can see that on on the thing. Oh, you should be able to. Yeah, from here, from here to here is 60 feet, and so it's got to go 60 feet in both directions, and then also in those directions, and every place in the middle. 60 feet, big. 90-foot cone, huge. Because, yeah, the cone should be, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Oh, wait, maybe. Oh, no. Oh, it's the cone from here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. So it's all the way down, and then you have to, I guess... that's a 90-foot cone, but how wide does it go? I guess the particular spell would let you know. So, that's that. Hold on. I moved a thing and now it's weird. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's that. So I love all this stuff about abstracting distances and letting you know, hey, here are all the different tools that you have at your disposal, and you don't only have to use one. You can use whatever makes the most sense for you, whatever works the best for your table at any given moment. Sometimes you want to do a big map. Sometimes you just want theater of the mind. That's okay. You can do whatever works best for your table. Now, we're not here talking about the mapping ports. We're here to talk about the combat encounter building expanded. This is something that I feel like I, as a GM, could use a lot of help with. I could use more help with sometimes. Partially because I feel like most of my combat encounters, I think I've run some really fun encounters, but it's definitely not my strongest skill. Mostly because combat comes up in my games very sparingly, and when it does, that means bad things are happening. I have like a Western kind of pacing a little bit, where there's a lot of tension and a lot of people reaching for their guns. Very few people pull the trigger, because once triggers get pulled, that's when nothing is the same. You do not leave a combat in my game, you do not have it and come out being the same person. Because that's how violence works in my eyes. So combat encounter building expanded. Let's read this. No, I do not care about your AI assistant, Adobe. Leave him out of this. Okay, cool. The Monster Vault includes guidelines to compare monster challenge ratings, CRs, to PC levels, so you can build exciting combat encounters for your players. This section expands on those guidelines and provides several tools to further help you build combat encounters with several variables, ensuring each battle feels unique and sets the stage for the stories you create with your players. The encounter templates section includes encounter models for various common encounter scenarios. The incorporating setting and terrain section offers drop-in features that change the landscape of a battle. Both of these use an encounter budget for helping you adjust an encounter's aspects to suit your needs while remaining challenging for your PCs. Challenging, but still doable, as long as they play smart and know what they're doing. So let's see what an encounter budget is. I'm unfamiliar. All right. The encounter building guidance in this section is based on an encounter budget. This budget represents an encounter that should be a challenge for PCs of that level, yet still an encounter where they are likely to succeed. You spend this encounter budget on each monster, trap, hazard, or environmental effect you add to the encounter. When adding a monster to an encounter, subtract its CR from the budget. When adding an environmental effect to an encounter, add or subtract the environmental effects budget adjustment from the encounter budget. So as you use them, you spend the budget. And when you're out, there you go. You're out. I really like how they did encounter budgets based on tier. It makes more sense and scales better. Yeah, hey, tier level makes a lot of sense. For PCs of 1st to 4th level, your encounter budget is equal to the total PC levels divided by 4. So at 1st level, if you have 4 PCs, your encounter budget, 1. If you're 4th level, hey, that's 4 people, that's 16 divided by 4, 4. Love easy math. For PC's 5th to 20th level, your encounter budget is equal to the total of PC's level divided by 2. So as they get stronger, you can do more stuff because they have more things, so on and so forth. Particularly powerful PCs above 10th level might find a more appropriate challenge with the following increased encounter budgets. Note that the sample encounters below don't use the increased encounter budgets. So keep that in mind. And this just gives you a chance to make things a little bit more challenging for more powerful players. It scales by tier, as GM Toolbox was saying. They don't really talk about daily budget here. It seems like this is a per combat budget. Yes, it is a per combat budget, I believe. Cool. So, encounter templates. This section offers a selection of encounter templates that represent common encounter types to help you quickly build engaging encounters for your game. These templates assume that you use the full encounter budget on the listed monsters, but you can easily remove a monster or replace it with a lower CR monster if you want to add a setting or terrain feature to the encounter. You can use these encounter templates directly or let them inspire your own mix of monsters for a combat encounter. As mentioned in the encounter building guidelines in the Monster Vault, it's important to remember that battles can go in many different directions. Your experiences with your group give you the most accurate information on the sort of combat encounters that push the PCs to their limits. These encounter templates assume 4 PCs, and they are built to result in a challenging yet winnable combat encounter. Got distracted by a thing. Hold on. Oh. Wait, hold on. I do need to respond to a thing. Okay. These combat encounter. Okay. Includes 4 PCs. If you have more or fewer PCs, or if you want to add an easier or harder combat, adjust encounters by adding or subtracting monsters from the encounter template, or use monsters with higher or lower CRs. The encounter building guidelines in the Monster Vault can help you recalculate the potential difficulty of an encounter when making these changes. Each template, oh god, I lost my space as I was reading. I lost it as I was reading. And each template includes a sample encounters for 4 PCs with an average party level of 3rd, 8th, 13th, and 18th level to inspire you. Each example lists its budget and suggested monsters for PCs of that level. Because these examples end up with an even number of budgets, some of the suggested monster setups total a little more or a little less than the listed budget. Okay, so these are just more information about it. Lots of stuff about the budget, but excited to see what these encounter templates look like. So battlefield examples of a volcanic summit. Zone 1, a lava lake with rocky platforms. Zone 2, a rocky shelf, mostly flat, and Zone 3, a field of towering boulders. So that feels like it's going in like a Zone 1 up here, or I'm sorry, up here. Zone 2 down here. Zone 3 down here. So yeah, wait, what is this battlefield zone? Is this for... Oh, this is for the first example. Boss and bodyguards. Got it. In this encounter template, a single powerful monster is protected by 2 bodyguards. A monster with ranged attacks or magic spells often works best as the boss, while large brutes act as bodyguards, pinning down melee attackers and threatening ranged attackers. The boss should account for roughly half of your encounter budget, while the bodyguards split the remaining half. Players often focus attacks on a single boss monster, so plan accordingly for such tactics. Here are sample encounters using this template. 3rd level example, so 3rd, 8th, and then so you have an ettercap and then 2 swarms of insects. Big guy, 2 little guys. 8th, the encounter budget is 16 for this. Because, yeah, 16. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I? Sorry, I'm just reading to make sure that I understand how all of this works. So the encounter budget for 4th level, it should be total level of all the PCs divided by 4. So 16 divided by 4, that'd be 4th level. Oh, this is 8th level. I'm so silly. Yeah, 16 makes sense. I was doing the math in my head wrong. Frost Giant, and then 2 Ettins. So yeah, basically you're using the CR to build up to that number, which makes sense. 13th level, and then so on and so forth. So 13th level, you have a 26 budget, and you can get an adult white dragon and 2 wyverns. So this is, again, the, hey, big guy, who is the boss, little guys who can help protect them. So 2 bodyguards. Love that. The next one, boss and minions, which is different from boss and bodyguards. In this encounter template, a single boss orders 4 minions to do their bidding. Often the boss stays out of the way, attacking with ranged attacks while the minions try to lock down melee-focused PCs. If the boss has a way to sacrifice minions to save themselves, they often do. The boss continues to account for half the encounter budget, while the minions split the remaining half among themselves. You can increase the number of minions at higher level, continuing to split half the encounter budget among all minions. Here are some sample encounters. A bandit captain with 4 bandits, a spirit naga with 4 berserkers, a storm giant with 4 winter wolves, and an ancient copper dragon with 2 bugbear champions and 2 gladiators. Love this. Ooh, what are these battlefield zones? Ooh, okay, so this is one deep cavern. You've got zone 1, a mushroom field, web-covered nests, an underground lake, or a scum-slick rock. All of these can be in this battlefield zone. All right, our next template is twin bosses. I love a twin boss. Hey, Dark Souls, great game. Ornstein and Smog, or Smolf, whatever. I don't remember. I think it's Smog, whatever. Ornstein and Smog, they're great. 2 bosses, love it. PCs often focus their attack on a single boss while their bodyguards get pinned down or ignored. One way to prevent a single boss from getting ganged up on is to include 2 bosses. Now PCs must split their attention, and the bosses can use the resulting swings and focus to gain the advantage against the PCs. 2 boss encounters split the encounter budget down the middle, half for each boss. Sometimes these bosses use identical stat blocks. Other times they use 2 different stat blocks, with one powerful melee combatant and the other a ranged attacker or spellcaster. Even when using the same stat block, focus your descriptions on their game world context to differentiate them in your players' imaginations. The following twin boss models use 2 different stat blocks, but you can also use 2 monsters with the same stat block. Here are some examples. At 3rd level, you've got the bandit captain and a fanatic cultist. Interesting. Death Knight and a cloaker. Ooh, I love cloakers. Can I just say that? Controversial opinion. I love cloakers. They're so cool. Big stingrays that live on the ceilings of caves that come down and beautiful. The Arrhenius feels right. Arrhenius devil and a Rakshasa, or an adult red dragon and a pit fiend. Ooh, that one Feels like that would suck to fight. A lot, actually. And then you have triple bosses. You can split bosses even further by running 3 bosses in a single combat encounter, ensuring the PCs must split their attention. In this case, the encounter budget is split 3 ways among the 3 bosses. None of them are quite as strong as the bosses found in the previous boss encounter templates, but what they lose in CR, they gain in actions. A Coven of Hags is the strongest example of 3 bosses in a single battle. The trio of bosses can mix ranged attackers, battlefield controllers, and melee combatants. Is this a dual battle? Look at that big guy with an axe, and look at that angel over there, ready to kill. Or demon, devil. Who's to say? I'm sure there's alt text that would. Just a black winged figure. It's just a black winged figure. Who's to say? Could be an angel. Could be a devil. They don't. It seems like What was this? Okay. Oh yes, and then triple bosses together, challenging the players by splitting their attention and encouraging them to strategize. So 3rd level examples, we've got a bugbear, a dire wolf, and a goblin captain. We have 3 night hags as another one, a deathless, a bone devil, and a chain devil, or an archmage, a storm giant, and a virtuoso lich. Very good. There is a boss, bodyguards, and minions combat. So in this encounter template, the PCs face 3 different types of monsters: a boss, a couple of bodyguards, and a small horde of underlings. The boss's CR uses up roughly 1/3 of the encounter budget. The bodyguard CR uses up another 1/3, and the remaining monsters use up the final 1/3, with usually 2 or 3 times as many underlings as bodyguards. So, here are some examples. 3rd level, spy. A spy, 2 thugs, and 4 bandits. The spy being the big boy, and the 2 thugs being the kind of little boys, and the 4 bandits being even smaller boys. And that gives you 3. At 8th level, there's the barbed devil, 2 bearded devils, and 4 imps. Young bronze dragon, 2 chulls, and 4 ogres, or a vampire, 2 vampire spawns, and 4 werewolves. Whoa, werewolves are 2 CR weaker than a vampire spawn? That's gross. That's disgusting. Those are some powerful spawn. Alright, next up we have the Horde. The Horde template represents a large group of monsters all attacking the PCs at once. Such battles gives the PCs a chance to shine, cutting down weaker foes one might right after the other. With so many monsters, you'll likely want to incorporate easier methods for tracking hit points, attacks, saves, and damage. You can determine the number of monsters the PC might face in the Horde by dividing the encounter budget by the CR of the monsters in the Horde. For example, 5 7th level PCs have an encounter budget of 17. You can throw 17 CR1 monsters or 34 CR half monsters in your Horde. Too many monsters, particularly if they have ranged attacks, can overwhelm even a powerful group of PCs, so don't throw too many monsters at them without a clear way for the PCs to defend themselves. Hordes, however, are extremely vulnerable to big effects, such as the Fireball spell or the Turn Undead feature. Instead of trying to circumvent such effects, lean into them. Let your players enjoy blowing away huge piles of monsters in a single blast. Let your players do cool things. They want to do cool stuff. That's why they chose to play the game with you. Let them be cool. Let them blow away 12 skeletons with a fireball, 16 bugbears with a cone of cold, 13 berserkers with a lightning bolt, 18 Blossom Sporeborn. Bloat Blossom Sporeborn. Let them do it. So, rivals. The rival encounter template pits an equal number of monsters to the PCs, and each monster uses roughly an equal portion of the encounter budget to determine their individual CR. Instead of a single monster type, the rival encounter template mixes ranged attackers and melee attackers, powerful heavy hitters in the front, and sneaky or mobile ranged attackers darting around in the back. Here are some examples. You've got a mage apprentice, 1 spy, 2 thugs. Hey, that's a party of adventurers right there. 2 trolls, 1 feral hunter, 1 green hag. Hey, that's a monster party. That's a monster party right there. You can have 1 alchemist, 1 oni, and 2 chimeras. Hey, guess what? That's a really cool party that I want to be a part of. And then there's the 1 infernal champion, an ambush hag, 1 glabsbrazu, and 1 golmana. This is just how you want it to feel like, man, we're fighting another group of us. No, not like another group of us. You're not doing like, that kind of like, oh, you're fighting the shadow versions of yourselves. You're just fighting a larger group of people that maybe can come at you one-on-one, so you can create some, I don't know, rival seems like there's an easy way to like kind of bring narrative into it and make like one-on-one fights with people. I don't know. It was just my first thought. And then last here, we've got the Wolf Pack. This template pits a group of monsters against the PCs, typically 1 monster per PC within the encounter budget, split equally among all the creatures in the group. All monsters in this encountered template are the same, making this one easy to run. Typically, monsters in a wolf pack split up attacking different PCs, but those with traits like pack tactics might send 2 or more monsters against a single PC. So for 3rd level, you're looking at 4 rust monsters, 4 Salangs at 8th level, 4 wyverns, or 4 fire giants. Boom. It's just a horde of creatures. I love it. So yeah, those are the encounter templates. I like this because it allows you to break up combats into different styles of them and makes them very easily applicable to basically any encounter, right? Like if you're like, okay, I want this boss. It helps you start breaking down what roles the different creatures in an encounter have, and so you can think about them in those ways, right? If you're like, okay, this is a boss and their bodyguards, that's going to have to behave differently between the boss and the minions, because bodyguards are less sacrificable than minions, right? They are less expendable. And the bodyguards have an active desire to want to keep the boss alive. Minions might also have that feeling about their boss, but I think the expendability of them makes the dynamic less like, this is a person I respect, and maybe more, this is a person I fear and respect. And then it's not a mutual respect, it is a, I am better than you and you are expendable, when a boss and their 2 bodyguards might be like, hey, there's something more going on here. Is it evil love? It might be evil love. Who's to say? Are there plans to include parts of the GMG into the Black Flag doc? I can tell you this. Yeah, probably. Yeah. We have an update for the Black Flag doc coming very soon, because hey, in January 10th is Black Flag Day. That's the day that we released the Black Flag, and we raised our anchor. Raised our flag and raised our anchor because we did set sail, and you all did too. And so there will be some updates coming to the Black Flag doc that I believe may be adding some portions of the Game Master's Guide into it. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Whew. Yes, I like these. This is such a good book. Am I biased? Yeah, because I work here. But also, it's a good book, and I'm telling the truth. So believe me. This is super useful. Even just this part. Like, I'm thinking about a game that I'm running not that long from now. And it is like, thinking of combats like this is going to make it much easier for me to begin to plan around, like, oh, how do I want things to interact with each other? The encounter budget, super cool. And is a great way to help think about how many and how powerful monsters should be that I add to a thing. Yeah, no, it's just cool. I can feel myself running out of steam, which is perfect because we're at our hour. So come on over here. Whew. Thank you all so much for being here for another Kobold Chats. I have enjoyed being here with you, going through all this stuff, and I hope you did too. We're going to be here same time next week, same time, same channel. Yes, this is from the GMG. I just realized where I had the PDF was blocking the Twitch chat, so I did not see that. Yeah. This is exactly where 5e and variants lose me. I've never built an encounter specifically to be challenging, but the PCs are likely to succeed. If the PCs are unmatched, they should have enough brain power to know they should run away. Hey, I understand that. Hey, no worries, Sundance. Yeah, no, Jan, I get that. As a person, I don't typically balance my own encounters in this way where, like, the math works out, right? But I think overall, as far as design goes, being able to know how challenging a thing is good, because that gives you, as the person making it, greater control over whether or not how strong a thing is. If you want to make something a little overpowered and you want to make it like challenging to such a degree where there is a potential where your players need to run to be able to succeed, that's totally fine. But you also need to know that you're doing that. And being able to, it just gives you control. There's nothing wrong with knowing the math, and nothing wrong with being able to say, okay, this is going to tend to be this challenging over, oh, this is going to be really easy, or, so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't think you necessarily need to balance a thing, but knowing how to is a good skill. And knowing what you are putting your players up against is also good. Because if you don't, and you're just throwing like monsters at them, or throwing like incredibly difficult things at them all the time, because you don't realize that's a thing you're doing, that could be frustrating as a player to have to deal with. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that. All right, everybody, I will see you same time next week, same channels, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Go out, eat enough food, drink enough water, get enough sleep, and take care of yourself, because self-care is incredibly important, especially in the time we're living in right now. Well, I've been doing this for 4 years. I don't need the formula. Yeah, no, that's fine. Hey, if you know what you're doing, that's all I'm saying. It's just a useful tool to help people. It's just a useful tool for people who don't know the math. So, yeah. Yes, go out and vote as well. All right, we'll see you next week. Peace out.